everybody, and welcome to Bubbas Ball Tire Outlet Arca Series here in Original Rebels Racing League. I'm Eddie Smith, and got to here late at night on a Friday night. Glad to be back in the Arca Series. You're gonna have to deal with me tonight. Alex out this week. I'm taking over. Looking forward to a good race here tonight in this series. Check in on the point standings. It's been a pretty eventful series already, but Jonathan Cofield has been sort of the head of the pack here early in the season. We're just 5 races in. Cofield already with 2 wins. Got the points lead by 12 points, but look how tight it is all the way from the second on back. So a lot of competition. Fields are a little bit smaller in this series, but I think that's what makes it so much fun and so tight like it is everybody is pretty competitive and has a really good opportunity to have a good race. This series is one of the best that Rebels has ever put on historically, and the Gen 4 this season has kind of turned everything up a couple notches as we added the Arca car with the more horsepower. So you've got the full 870. And boy, it sure is a lot of horses, especially to go around a track like Michigan. Because we know Michigan, but we'll take a look at it. It's a 2-mile, big old speedway located in Brooklyn, Michigan. Opened in 1968, a big capacity of 137,000. They don't put that many people on there now, but boy, it used to pack house back in the day. But big facility, couple 2 or 3 different lanes that you used to be able to run. iRacing has kind of neutered it a little bit, and unfortunately it's a little bit tougher to make those lanes work right now with the way the tire model and track is, but we'll see if folks can navigate around here and make something happen by running the top, maybe running the bottom, or in the middle. I think what we'll see is a lot of guys putting those left front or maybe left rear as well down below the first seam, keep the right sides above that seam to help turn that car in the middle and keep that momentum up and get all horses down if you can. But yeah, Michigan always puts on a good show. We saw in the Rebels Truck Series just an amazing race at Michigan. So I think we'll see a lot of that today. I think clean air is going to be important. We've got 75 laps here tonight, so it's a long race. 75 laps doesn't sound like a lot, but this is a big track. So hopefully we don't get too many cautions. With 14 drivers, we should have a relatively green race, especially with as many lanes as we got here. Let's go look at the grid, as everybody is starting to get gridded up now. And let's see where everybody's starting here in the Arca Series. I went back and watched a few of the races, but I haven't seen too many, so it's interesting to see what the trends are with this new car and who has been taking to it pretty quickly. Michael Nash going to be your Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner, so congratulations to Michael Nash in that Gen 4 Impala 38.290. Good God. I don't think too many people qualify, because that's a 0.7 of a second difference between first and second. Brandon Wallace in second place. In third, Jeremiah Holt. Davy Jones going to round out row number 2. Brandon Pollock, I think, makes his debut in this series this season. Going to start in 5th place. Mickey Isaac going to start in 6th. 7th, going to be Jonathan Cofield, your points leader. Stephen McDonald in 8th. Michael Kostick in 9th. Lucas Lyons in 10th. Christopher Reese, Todd Schott going to be 11th and 12th. However, they have not gridded up, so I don't know if they have decided to call it a day. And then Andy Kurtz, Matt Clement going to round out your grid here tonight. Take a look at the race analysis. Gen 4 Cup cars, like I said, almost 900 horsepower in these things. Fixed setup. 75 laps, 4 total sets of tires, 1 faster pair, and 70% fuel. So we'll have to see what the the fuel run is going to be. You can definitely see that it's a little bit cloudy here. Let's take a look at the weather. Track temp, pretty cool, 97 degrees. Air temp's right under 80. So the track's going to have plenty of grip. That could be a good thing or bad thing. You kind of like when it's a little bit slick, so these guys have to really work that throttle. It gets a little bit tight and in the groove whenever the track's a little bit cool, especially with this overcast, the clouds that we have here. But we'll see. We'll see how these cars play out. I wish more than anything the top side would work. I hope we'll see if it plays out. But I have a feeling that right around that bottom seam is where you're going to want to be. All right, pace car going to pull off 75 laps here in the Bubbas Ball Tire Outlet Arca Series. Michael Nash going to lead us down to the green flag. And green flag is out. Well, there you have it. Lap 1 in the books. Michael Nash with the lead. Michael Kostick down to the inside of Brandon Wallace, who's running up in that top side. But you see the bottom, that middle groove, like what I was talking about, takes over as Michael Kostick gets a little bit out of shape coming off the corner, but able to get that thing back rolling. But he is moving. He's got the run here. Looking ahead. You can see Alan Nash doing exactly that, putting those left sides below that seam. Keeping the right side above it. Something must be happening to Mickey Isaac. Mickey Isaac's slow on the track. Not really sure what happened to him, but he had some sort of trouble. Might have got a little bit loose. Looks like he got a little bit of that wall. We'll take a look at it here on the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. See him there in that gold car up top, Mission 22. Just goes up, gets out of the groove, and gets stuck in the wall, but able to get that thing back rolling. Whoops. But the battle for the lead, picking up. Kostick is there. Michael Kostick up 7 spots where he started. What the hell? The man started 9th. He's already up to 2nd. That's crazy. Wait a minute. Oh, it looks like we had quite a few EOLs. Trying to figure out what the heck happened there and how the heck he got that many. But it looks like Brandon Pollock, Jonathan Cofield, and others took some EOLs and had to start towards the back. So he gained a couple positions early. Was starting to run down Michael Nash, but Nash has been able to pull away a little bit. Now Brandon Wallace has gotten to the back bumper of him again. Right behind him, we got Andy Kurtz and Lucas Lyons battling side by side for 4th position. A couple drivers I think we'll see up front all day long. You kind of see there, I mean, just look where everybody's running. They're running right there at that seam. We're going forward with Michael Nash. Got a better view. I guess we're good. Right here. You're going to put that left front right under that seam and just helps the car turn in the middle. Comes off the corner pretty wide, trying to just keep the speed up. You kind of see everybody running that sort of line right there in the middle. And we'll see that pretty much all night long. And I would love for iRacing. Unfortunately, they just haven't been able to model this much better than it is currently. I mean, they had it modeled. They had the high lines modeled at one point, but only for just a little while. And then they kind of nuked it, it seemed like. So There's been a couple times that we've had Michigan where you run right up at the top. You put your right sides on that top seam, similar to like Homestead. But here recently, it's all been right there on that that bottom seam. You see Michael Kostick get real wide. He's really hanging it out there. Right down in that roomy stuff, you see the dark as Alan Nash. You see him yawing that thing out. Trying to get down into stay into where the tire marks are. That's usually where the most grip is. It's a lot of fun to watch these cars run. You know, whenever they came out with it, when they made the mistake, iRacing actually just made a mistake and accidentally added this amount of horsepower to the original Arca car, which has about 650, I think, ish horsepower, and those cars are a lot of fun. And so you would put those cars out there on those setups, and it's just a blast. But I think they went in there and just messed with the setups after they added this particular version, added the horsepower because that's what the people wanted. And unfortunately, I don't know if I just love it. I mean, you can see right there. I mean, the whole chassis is just twisting off the corner, so that's awesome. I mean, we love to see that. But I've seen a lot of tracks where it just hasn't been as awesome as maybe I'd hoped. And I think it's always sort of a setup thing with iRacing. I think they go in there and they add those fixed setups and they tighten them up because they want people to be able to drive a stable race car in fixed setup series. So I get it. But, man, it sure does neuter the racing sometimes. It's a battle, though, between Brandon Wallace and Andy Kurtz. Andy Kurtz going to go around the outside. Now Brandon Wallace is going to fall back to the 5th position. He started on the outside of the front row and has already found his way going the wrong direction. Michael Nash, his 8 car continues to try to run him down, having to fight that dirty air. It's something that can be tough, especially at a track like Michigan. If we can run a couple of different lanes, you know, you can really move around, find some air, but you can't do that. Michael Nash actually running up a little high here. Give Kostick a little bit of breathing room there. You can see how yawed out they are, so pretty fun to watch that. I love that. Maybe that'll continue as tires start to wear out. Maybe you know, they'll lean on that right rear a little bit too much, and they'll really have to be counter steering inside the car. Cameras turn and look at the steering. Oh, caution's out. Caution's out. Looks like Steve McDonald. Steve McDonald, maybe Jeremiah Holt involved in something. Well, we'll get our second Kinder Farmer Ranch Wreckage Rewind here between the 32 and the 68 here as they come off the corner. See what happens. Oh, yeah, Steve McDonald just comes up across the nose of the 32. And, fortunately, going to get right hooked right into the wall. We'll watch that again. We'll watch it on board with Jeremiah Holt here. Go back and check that one more time. You see, Steve McDonald just thought maybe he had a little extra room up there and just definitely did not. So that brings out the first caution. Everybody going to come down pit road after that one. as we talked about at the beginning of the race, 4 total sets. So they've got 3 extra other than the ones they had on them. So this will be the first set that people use. And by the looks of it, I can't tell, but it looks like Brandon Wallace and Lucas Lyons, they either took fuel only or 2 tires. So using a little bit of strategy to get that track position early. We'll see if that plays off, or plays out, excuse me. It's a good strategy. It just depends on how important tires are. As you know, if we click off a long green flag run here, it can be tough if the tires do really make a difference. If they took no tires, I'd be worried they're going to get eaten up here. If they took 2, we'll see how 2 does. I mean, it's the best time to try to figure that out for maybe a late race restart than on lap 14 to see if 2 tires makes a difference, or if you can hold your own. If you can hold your own, that'd be a good thing to know. So not a bad time to try that, see how it works. I would imagine no tires, they're probably going to get eat up after about 13 laps. We already saw the cars really sliding around, yawing off the corner, leaning on that right rear. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how these 2 handle it. Getting ready to go green here on lap 14. Coming to 15, still a ways to go here in this race. Trying to go back to pit road to see if I can see if they took tires or not, if they just took fuel. And by the looks of it, I did not see a jack come up on the car, so they may have taken just fuel only. So they may be out there on older tires. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out here. But pace car going to pull off, going to go green here with Lucas Lyons out front. He's going to get a great jump. That's going to bring Michael Nash alongside of Brandon Wallace. Going to go down into turn 1. We'll see right here. This will be the tell for sure how well those tires hold up. Oh yeah, you can tell Brandon Wallace really off the pace as these guys are all over him. Lucas Lyon lucky to be able to get away. He's got a big gap here from the front, but I think it's going to get eaten up pretty quick. But right now the battle is for 3rd place as Cofield's going to drive right by Michael Kostick here early as they are really closing up on those lines. Jonathan Cofield with a run, has some help from his teammate, and he goes down to the inside of Michael Nash. Just had a big old run there as they're starting to run up on the back bumper of Lucas Lyons. You can definitely see he's struggling here in the middle of the corner and loses a ton of speed. Jonathan Cofield down to the inside. He's going to bring the rest of them with him. Comes down, tries to do a little side drafting. You see the matching paint schemes there. And Cofield going to take over the top spot. Michael Nash going to follow him through as Lucas Lyons moves up out of the group and lets everybody go here. Brandon Wallace back in the 6th position. It continues to fall here. So if this goes green all the way, you know, it's going to be tough for these 2 drivers to really do anything. They're really hoping for a couple more cautions and there to be a lot of need to come down pit road. I just don't know if they're going to ever get that. I know these guys drive on Sunday or Saturday nights in these cars, so some of these guys have experience. Jonathan Cofield, Michael Kostick, Andy Kurtz, and some others have experience in these cars. And I would be curious to ask them, maybe we'll talk to somebody under a caution flag, just the differences, if there are any, about how you have to drive this car. It seems like it's pretty similar, just you have to be a little bit more careful on the throttle. But, you know, horsepower really changes the balance of how these cars drive. I mean, you take away, we've seen that in the Cup car, you take away 300 horsepower, it changes how, you know, the races go and how the drivers drive the tracks. It can really change the lines up where, you know, you have to run here, you know, top, bottom, might change based on, you know, how much you're able to use that right foot. So I'd be curious to see these guys' opinion on how this thing drives compared to the other. I just have this weird feeling when I'm driven a couple times that I don't know. I honestly, I think it's the setup that's holding them back. But here comes Michael Kosick. It's not holding him back as he has got to run on the 27, going to go down to the inside, trying to take over this second spot. Michael Nash going to try to fight on the outside, hold him down there, not let him get by. Kosick going to get a little bit loose on the bottom. Andy Kurt's going to have a nice view of this as see the top side prevail here, and that Andy Kurtz now is going to get to the outside. These guys battling it out like they are. Cofield's going to continue to pull away as he's about a tenth faster than anybody else. Clean air just too important, and also Donovan Cofield just an extremely fast driver. They have pulled a nice little gap back to Matt Clemens, about 2 seconds. That running here in the 5th position. He's got Steve McDonald, who was involved in that incident earlier, right behind him, and so they've kind of separated into some distinct packs. You've got, you know, Jonathan Cofield about half a second up on Michael Nash, who's in a group with Kosick and Andy Kurtz, and you got Clement and Steve McDonald here. And you go on back a little bit further, and you've got Lucas Lyon and Brandon Wallace on those old tires. But looky here, we got 3 wide. Is I think that's some. Who is that in the wall? Oh, David Jones, number 10, White Castle. Car gets up into the wall as he got scared. He got scared about that 3 wide there. Did not want to do that, and gets up into the wall. Jeremiah Holt looking down to the inside of Mickey Isaac here. This is for 9th position, as they're trying to run down Brandon Wallace and Lucas Lyons on these older tires. Mickey Isaac. Jeremiah Holt has had to use his fast repair, so he's fighting back from that incident earlier with Stephen McDonald. And then you got Mickey Isaac, who stayed on pit road for a good amount of time to fix damage when he got into the wall. So lots of guys making some mistakes early, having to get caught back up. And Brandon Wallace continues to fall back. Oh my goodness, Brandon Pollock. Everybody going all over him as he's getting lapped here. He goes 2 laps down. Brandon Pollock in that Sharpie 001 machine. Odd looking car. I feel like my brain. Is this my brain on drugs? It's messing with my brain, but yeah, I mean, he's struggling tonight. There's no doubt about it. He's on pit road for about 2.5 minutes. He might be struggling, or he might be enjoying the devil's lettuce. All right, Michael Kosick is starting to run down the leader, Jonathan Cofield, who has, I don't know if that lap car really messed him up, but that's really brought in these guys. You see just how close everybody is. And you see the 8 just continues to yaw that car out. Now you look at Michael Nash, he's getting loose. Boy, we'd love to see that. Andy Kurt's going to have a big run down the front straightaway. He's going to look up to the outside as Kosick tries to cover the bottom. And so Andy going to try to go around the long way. We'll see if that top side will work at all. If anybody can do it, Andy Kurtz does. They're going to dip those tires down into the good stuff. You're going to have to make an evasive move here as the 8 comes off the corner. He's got the run. Not quite able to get there just yet, so they continue to run nose to tail. And again, Cofield now pulling away one more time. this race, and nose to tail here for second place. Michael Nash there still on the inside trying to make that work. But now Caustic goes up there and tries to take Andy Kurtz's line away, get that momentum, get around that 27 and set his sights back on the 58. But Alan Nash not going to be denied there on that bottom. He is fighting really hard to make that work. Oh man, Caustic, you could see that car moving. That's what's crazy about this is you could see the car kind of wiggling back and forth off the corner. Here goes Andy Kurtz down to the bottom. Michael Nash able to clear him and see if he can pull up in front of that 8 machine. Kind of box him in here. Caustic not going to have anywhere to go with that run if he can't get past the 5, and he's not going to do it. So Andy Kurtz going to kind of box him in there. Kurtz right on the back bumper. I think they both wanted that same spot. This is great racing, man. Lap 27 to 75, man. They're really getting with it for second place. And like I said, John Gofield able to continue to tiptoe away while this is all going on. They were able to run it down. I don't know if the lap car kind of got in the way or what, but they had run it down, but now it's starting to go all the way again. Just listen how much time they're on the throttle. Look at Michael Nash extremely loose off the corner. Let's listen. You can see he's off the throttle and then right back on it. So they're really, the on throttle time is pretty ridiculous. But Andy Kurtz able to get around Caustic. Caustic going to fall back to 4th. He was up there battling for the lead, trying to get up there to pass his teammate, and now he's back in 4th. How quickly things can change at a track like this. They run down the backstretch, you see. Y'all in that car out yet again, just getting all he can out of it. Michael Nash having a good lap this time by. We'll see as they cross the line, but he's been able to maybe gain a little bit here on Cofield that last lap. Cofield crossed the line at a 40.057, but no, Michael Nash at 40.031. So Nash a little bit faster, but not that much. But if he keeps chipping away at it, they've only got 45 laps to go. Got plenty of time to try to run him down. He's got the draft, so you know he's got that straightaway speed. We'll go back here for the top 5 position right now. Matt Clement got a big run here on Steve McDonald. He's got a lap car, Brandon Pollock, right in front of him. So we'll see if they can get this going. And Lucas Lyons has come down pit road. You see him coming with a head of steam down on the bottom as he has come down to make his pit stop under green. So I don't know. I don't understand the call to do that. Now they'll still have to, if we stay green, everybody's going to have to make another stop for sure. So I don't know if he can make it all the way or not. I don't really understand the strategy. It may have just been a YOLO thing to see how it works, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But right now he's a lap down. He's going to have to try to run down and unlap himself. He is in the lucky dog spot, so if caution does come out, he'll be able to get that back. So, but Matt Clement goes, and Steve McDonald go to the inside of Brandon Pollock, and Clement gets almost to the wall. You see Brandon Pollock. I don't know what's going on with Brandon Pollock. We haven't seen him in a while. He seems to be he's got the rust on him. He's struggling. Let's go on board with him and see what's going on. Need to make some cameras for the Gen 4 car. See what old Brandon's struggling with. my goodness, almost some contact there between those two drivers as Steve McDonald gets way out of shape. That was a close call there. Up front, we're going to check in on our leaders. Jonathan Cofield still has a 0.7 of a second lead over Michael Nash. Michael Nash doing the best he can, running toe-to-toe with him. See if he can make up anything here. All right. Oh, now we're cooking with Crisco. Let's go. Man, putting camera files in on the fly. Boy, you love to see it. Had the stock iRacing cameras on the car, so we need to get rid of those things. Horrible. Oh, yeah, right here. Like this camera right here for sure. But what am I doing? I'm just playing around. Well, we don't really have much to talk about right now. Is Mickey Isaac, though, as soon as I say that, here comes Steve McDonald, Mickey Isaac, to come down and make a pit stop. Looks to be about 23 laps is what you can do, so they'll have to make another one after this. So that'll be good for Lucas Lyons. That kind of helps him and Brandon Wallace kind of get back on the lead lap here. They both pitted about 10 laps ago. Brandon Wallace about 3 laps ago. So we'll see what the leaders can do, and they're coming down pit road right now. Alan Nash and Jonathan Cofield. Alan Nash did a great job, made up a ton of time. Did he speed, though? That's the thing I want to know. Very easy to do that. So pit lane now wide open as everybody coming down to make their stops. Lucas Lyon back on the lead lap. He's going to have a ton of time to make up, though. It's interesting. Lucas would love to have a caution right now. I think that would be the best thing for him, as that would allow him to really kind of make up for that, along with Brandon Wallace. But they come out of pit road. Cofield going to have the lead. And Michael Nash did a great job getting on pit road, but that pit crew did not do a great job, as he's going to lose quite a bit of time to Jonathan Cofield, as Lucas might come around here and take the lead here. Not quite going to be able to do that, but really impressive by Lucas. He's been laying down some lap times. Jeremiah Holt coming out of pit road, but yeah, Lucas made up a ton of time. He pitted 13 laps ago, so he will quickly fall back. But I think everybody gonna have to make another pit stop, so I think it's gonna work out good for Lucas. Gonna be frustrating as he's gonna continue to lose spots here this whole run. But you know, if he catches a caution just the right time, it might be a good thing. We'll all pretend that we're fans here and we'll watch from the fan cam going around. Man, it feels like I'm there. Well, this is a cluster here. Is Michael Nash going to take over second from Lucas? And here comes the rest of the train. Andy Kurtz and Michael Kostick going to go down to the inside. Lucas going to fall back to the 5th position. But he has almost 10 seconds back to Brandon Wallace. So, yeah, not too bad at all. I mean, the battle has really been from second to 4th so far this race. These 3 drivers right here have been kind of all over each other. Although I do feel like Michael Nash has a little bit more speed than the other 2. But he just can't seem to get away from him. The draft kind of helps everybody stay together. Cofield has consistently been able to drive away just a good bit faster. Even on brand new tires, he's about a 10th faster than everybody else at the moment. But that's the way it is in real life. I mean, while I think Jonathan Cofield's probably maybe the fastest one here, clean air just makes a huge difference. And right now, I mean, he's got the clean air. He's got nothing in front of him to really put dirty air on the front of that car. He's got all the downforce he needs, and it does make a difference here in iRacing, just like in real life. We've seen guys in NASCAR, the Cup Series, get out front, and you're like, hell, they ain't been out front all race long. They get out there and nobody can touch them. And it's the same way here. It's a tough ask to run down Jonathan Cofield without dirty air, but with dirty air, it's about down near impossible. On board with Michael Kostick. He's trying to keep tabs on these guys right in front of him. A little bit faster than Andy Kurt's last lap, but Michael Nash a little bit faster than him. Michael is able to kind of run toe-to-toe. I mean, Jonathan Cofield ran a 38.826. Michael Nash ran a 38.846. So similar lap times. But just not able to put a big dent in it. So I wish I had I could show you. Our theme here doesn't have miles per hour, but man, these guys hitting 200 miles an hour. We'll see Jonathan Cofield 201, 202, 202 entering into turn number 1. Boy, that brings back some memories, don't it? Of course, back in the day, I think with the COT, they were entering the corner at 210 in Michigan. Just crazy. You know, there's speed and there's just ridiculousness. You know, I still think them running average speed 240 miles an hour at Indy, in the Indy cars, the Indy 500 is just crazy. I feel like in these stock cars, running 210 into Michigan is just wild. They have really got the speed down the front straightaway. These high horsepower motors really getting with it. Checking back in with Matt Clem and Brandon Wallace, battling it out for 7th place. Is Brandon going to fall back as he hit it earlier than these guys, so he definitely has the worst tires, but trying to keep tabs. You know, so far I'm critical of Lucas and Brandon, but here, you know, with about 30 laps to go, they do have an extra set. Now, everybody's got one more set at least. So we'll see if they get a chance to actually use it, but they do have an extra set here. Check in on Brandon Wallace, see how he's dealing with that. Those older tires, trying to keep up with Mickey Isaac here. What he's trying to do right now is just, I mean, he's not really worried about those in front of him. It's just the tire differential is going to be too much probably. But the idea is, hey, I just need to stay on the lead lap. You know, if you're Davy Jones, if you're Jeremiah Holt running back in 10th and 11th, you are, you know, they're 31 seconds back to the leader. They're in danger of going a lap down. But if Brandon Wallace can continue to hold this and he get a caution, he's got that extra set in the bank and he can use it whenever he needs to. So right now he's not really racing anybody, just trying to maintain what he's got here with this strategy. Somebody else though who is on the move does not have an extra set. That's Matt Clement, but he is all over the back bumper of Steve McDonald. Just a battle for 6th place. Matt got me. I mean, look at him. He's vaping down the front straightaway. That's calm and collected for sure. I'd hate to be Steve McDonald if he didn't have that vape sitting out there to take a drag on. Getting right to the back bumper, and you see they're having to run similar lines. Drives it deep down the corner and runs a little bit higher, sticks that nose out to get a little bit more downforce. You can actually push the throttle. It seems like to, oh man, Steve's going to run a little bit high there. And man, Matt Clement goes way down to the bottom. I think he might have gotten a little bit loose there. Yeah, Matt tried to get the run there off the bottom and just got a little bit too loose. Able to save it. Now he's going to go to the outside, make that work. We've seen the outside be really strong. And Steve McDonald, just a gentleman, lets Matt go, gives him that spot. So Matt Clement in the top 5, man. What a great run. He's up 7 spots from where he started. Now, a lot of that, I don't really know what happened there. Some people got EOLs. So I'm not sure what's true, but I show he's moved up 7 spots, so that's what I'm going to go with. Watch Michael Nash will go on board with him. You can see his arm moving back and forth. He's blinking. You know, he's like, man, it's late. Why did I do this? And then he's having to focus so hard as he goes down in the corner. You can see off the corner, they're really having to put a lot of wheel into it. See if I can actually turn the camera. Oh, look at here, boy. Look at here. Oh, it looks like we had to blur out a little bit of Michael. Michael must have some indecent exposure. We had to blur him out. Get back on there, trying to watch his steering wheel, but you can see his arms moving when he comes off the corner. Really trying to make that. You got to give it the gas. Yeah, so when you do that, it's going to over rotate, but you can use the front wheel. Look at him using that wheel. You got to keep the throttle on to get that thing to rotate off the corner to keep that speed up. So you use the front tires to counter steer and keep them spinning out. That way you can carry that speed all the way down the straightaway. You can see, man, look at how much he's got to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Currently about 2 seconds back from Jonathan Cofield, who has really started to step away. He's already got 2 wins on the season, looking to try to make it 3 here. And man, just able to step away. He's over a 10th faster every single lap than everybody else on the field, excuse me. Now they still have to make a pit stop. Should be their last one here coming up. So got to not make any mistakes. Doesn't matter how fast you are, you make mistakes on pit road, it can take you out of this thing. He's got a big enough lead now that he really doesn't have to worry about it too much. Don't need to put too much pressure on yourself, but you know, we see it from time to time. Guys kind of work that brake bias now. It's a fixed setup. You can't really change anything, but one thing you can change while you're in the car is your brake bias. So you can rotate that, push the brake up towards the front, move it to the back, whatever you need. Usually people move it forward. That way help the car turn under braking as the car gets a little bit tighter on entry. But the thing is, if you forget to turn it back and you go down pit road, you can just lock the fronts up and you'll send her around. So got to be careful about that. One thing to be making note of, check as you're getting ready to come down pit road, make sure you turn that back up where that doesn't happen. But back here for third, a little battle going on. Andy Kurtz, Michael Kostick making contact. Actually, a 2X popped up for that. Trying to push the 5 car down the straightaway there, but they have really lost sight of Michael Nash. He is gone. As Kostick going to go down to the inside, not quite going to be able to clear it, but I think he's going to be able to drive a little bit deeper down the corner and take that spot. And he does. So move Michael Kostick up to the 3rd position. Andy Kurtz back to the 4th. As see the 8. You see that 8 car yaw in there on that Z axis, back and forth, back and forth. closest battle that we have on the track right now. Davy Jones about half a second behind Jeremiah Holt. But, man, these guys really look out of shape. Here comes Michael Nash, though, making his pit stop. Going to try a little undercut here. Don't blame him one bit. I think it's a good call. Got to get out in front of him. I think Michael's got the speed. If he can just get out front, if he can get that track position, I think he's got the speed to be able to run with Cofield, maybe hold him off, especially in the lead. But oh, man, he slides to his pit box. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Sliding through your pit box under green's probably the best time to do that versus yellow, because you could lose tons of spots. He's going to lose a few seconds maybe, which is not going to be helpful, but you can't make those mistakes. Michael Nash is going to come out of pit road. Andy Kurtz now bringing that number 5 machine down pit road and seeing if he can make up some time here. This should be the final pit stop as we're closing in on lap 60, which should be about 15 laps to go. So now the question is, when is your leader, Jonathan Cofield, coming down pit road? Got to think he's going to be coming down pretty soon. He looks like he is slowing down now. He's coming down. Here he comes. Jeremiah Holt right in front of him. Steve McDonald there. Mickey Isaac coming down pit road as Andy Kurtz currently leaving pit road. You know, Michael Nash kicking himself for sliding through that box. Is standing to gain a ton of time on Cofield there. But we'll see if he's able to get around that 58 machine. Is right now he's going into turn 3 and 4. The jack's about to drop on the 58 machine. He's pulling out of pit road now. We'll see if Michael Nash can get around him. It's such a long track. You see he's just crossing the start finish line now. Cofield's got to go around on the apron. Let's see if he can get around him. Oh, it's going to be close. Cofield down on the apron. Can he clear? I mean, Nash is going to be up to speed. Cofield's about 10 mile an hour slower. And actually, at the last second, going to jump up in front of him. But here we go. Michael Nash going to have the speed. His tires are going to be up to the temps. He can complete this pass. That would be a pretty big move there. I mean, that's the first time we've seen somebody go up there and just take it from Cofield. Now, what can he do with it? Cofield's going to get his tires up to temp. He's going to have the draft. So now Alan Nash is going to have to put on a damn clinic to hold off that 58 machine. So Nash has shown he's got plenty of speed. He could run with Cofield. So this is his best shot. My goodness. Very close calls. They go 3 wide with Davy Jones. That was for position. Davy Jones pitted about 22 laps ago. What can the 27 do here? He's can get out there, try to run away with this thing. He's running a little bit high there. That's not what you want to do. A little bit of nerves. Looking in that mirror maybe a little bit too much. You see push wide on the exit of turn 4, and that Matt got the that 58 all over the back bumper. 58 going to drive down to the bottom. Is the 27 going to run the high line? Why? I don't know why. Why? Why'd you run the high line? Maybe that's why. He's able to get the big old run off the corner, and he's going to clear the 58 by the end of turn 3. So he's using that high line to his advantage to keep that run going and keep the momentum, and he was able to clear him there. $15 laps to go. Can Michael Nash hold off your points leader, Jonathan Cofield? He's running that high line. He's really making that car work. See if he gets the same run that he got last time off of. He does not. He does not get a good enough run. Side draft here from the 58. To go down to the corner, how hard is the 27 going to drive down his door? He's driving up the track again. I don't understand. Yeah, I'm so confused, but there you go. Pass for the lead. Cofield takes that spot back. We haven't seen that top line work, especially way out of the groove like that. So don't know. I'm a little confused by that tactic there. Is now he drives right back down into the main groove. So yeah, just curious. It seemed like Michael Nash just kind of let him go almost. So I don't know. Maybe just doesn't feel comfortable with the 58 on that back bumper. Maybe it's a little bit too loose. That may be what it is. And just didn't feel comfortable with the 58 behind him. Cofield able to take the lead back as we'll go back here and watch Steve McDonald, Matt Clement, who have been around each other all race long, and they continue to do that. And they are right behind Brandon Wallace. This is becoming a 3-car battle, as they do have a little bit fresher tires than the 99 machine of Brandon Wallace. See Brandon there right in front of that red and black car. Well, unless we get a caution here, it looks like that strategy of trying to save that set of tires just hasn't worked out. But there's still 10 laps to go, and these are very, very long laps. And if that caution does come out, Lucas will get the lucky dog. And Brandon Wallace is sitting 5th right now. He may fall back to 7th, but he'll have fresh tires. You know, after about 10 laps, I mean, the tires do fall off quite a bit. A little over a second. Not too much fall off, but enough that if we got a late race caution, those two could really have a good ace on the hole. But watching this battle here, it's getting exciting as here comes Steve McDonald down to the inside of the 99 of Brandon Wallace. Going to be side by side. I think the tire advantage is going to work really well for these two drivers on the bottom. Matt Clement going to try to take advantage of that, and he goes way down to the bottom as Brandon Wallace is going to get to the back bumper of the 68 and kind of push him. Kind of weaving all over the place. Mickey Isaac making his way up here to maybe join this battle, and we have a 4-car battle for 5th place. Well, this has been a good race. I think Michigan does put on some good racing. I think this car has put on some good racing. So, you know, I was a little nervous going into this race how Michigan and this car would drive, but so far it's been a lot of fun to watch these guys all over the place, sliding the rears off the corner. That's pretty fun. And it looks like you can make passes when you need to, and you know, that's a positive. Brandon Wallace trying to stop the bleeding with 10 laps to go, trying to hold off, not lose as many positions as he can, but just he's got the oldest tires on the track. You can see it's just making it difficult. When Steve McDonald got around him, he is now almost a second away from Brandon Wallace. So man, this is a great battle right here. Now Mickey Isaac going to join in that 01 machine, that Mission 22. Going to ride up behind Brandon Wallace, get that draft, and probably drop down to the bottom. No, he's going to run right behind Brandon Wallace. You see the run he's able to get. Going to get to the inside of the 99. Side by side, not quite able to complete the pass just yet. He's going to need another turn or two, and I think he'll have it. Brandon Wallace gets a nice run off of turn 4 and has Mickey Isaac by almost a car length. Try it again here in turn 1 and 2, all the way down to the bottom. Topside draft just a little bit too strong. All right, well, let's go up here. We got a battle. This is going to continue on, I'm sure, but we got a battle up here for 3rd place. Michael Kostick has slowly been reeling in Andy Kurtz. Last time by a little over 2/10 faster Kostick was than Andy Kurtz, so he is reeling him in quickly, that draft being really strong. They have similar sets of tires, but it looks like Andy is struggling here after about 12 laps, and now Michael Kosic's starting to run him down and putting a lot of pressure on him right now. Only 5 laps to go to get it done. If you want to get up and get a podium position, this is who you got to pass, and Kosic going to go right down to the inside, and man, it's making it look easy. As the run down the back straightaway as they go into 3 and 4. If he's able to clear that 5 machine, that it seems like in 3 or 4, it's been tough to make that pass off the corner. Is he able to do it? Not quite able to do it yet, but it looks like Andy might have stumbled just a little bit, and that slowed that run from the top side. He will still have the advantage to go down into turn 1. They continue to race side by side. Kostic looks like he may have him cleared right here, and he does. So move Kostic up to the 3rd position with 5 laps to go. That is settled, and so is this. Mickey Isaac has been able to complete the pass on Brandon Wallace and move Mickey Isaac into the 7th position after those issues early. Been able to recover pretty nicely. Now, Matt Clement now on the verge of running down Steve McDonald here. Nice run through 1 and 2. You see Steve McDonald kind of slipped up a little bit there. It's going to allow Matt to continue to get that run, use the draft here as they're going over 190 miles an hour down the back straightaway. They're going to cross into a 198 here on older tires. And Matt's going to go look up to the outside. He's going to get the run, and McDonald has to actually lift a little bit. And Matt Clement goes around the outside, and he takes over the 5th position. What a great run by Matt Clement here tonight. Two laps to go. Here comes the 58 machine of Jonathan Cofield through turns 1 and 2. And there's nobody for 3.6 seconds. Michael Nash is back. Kosic 7.5 seconds back in 3rd place. Just a dominant performance out of Jonathan Cofield. He's going to come down the front straightaway. He's going to take the white flag here in Bubbas Ball Tire, Rebels Arca Series barn tire outlet of the Mall of America. And 58 takes the white flag through 1 and 2. He could just cruise. He could probably clutch it, just coast the rest of the way. Nobody going to catch him. Just an impressive run out of Jonathan Cofield. Had the field covered here tonight. Seems like when you put him in a car, it's got a lot of horsepower like this. He can definitely step up and dominate. And so far looks to be the case here tonight. Comes off of turn 3 and 4. No issues. Out of the 58. He's going to come down and take a checker flag. 3rd win on the season. Jonathan Cofield's going to win here tonight. Go back here. We got some battles going on for the checker flag. Steve McDonald trying to take back that 5th position. Going to drive deep down in the corner. Matt Clement there, nose to tail off the corner. And McDonald do anything, not quite able to do it. And Clement's going to take that 5th position. But side-by-side battle between Mickey Isaac and Brandon Wallace. And at the line, Brandon Wallace takes that 7th position. But your winner, Jonathan Cofield, congratulations on a win. Just a dominant performance there. He led 57 laps out of the 75. He got the lead, really never looked back. Got past there. Alan Nash made a great attempt of doing the undercut think he knocked it out of the park and then just could not hold off that 58 machine. But we'll talk to him about it. We'll ask him all about that right in just a moment as we'll get these interviews going. We'll talk to these guys, see what they thought. Let's take a look at the results while we wait on everybody to jump up into the booth. We got 1 caution, 5 lead changes. Cofield, Michael Nash, Michael Kosick, your top 3. Andy Kurtz comes home in 4th. Matt Clement in 5th. Steve McDonald in 6th. Brandon Wallace in 7th. Mickey Isaac in 8th. David Jones in 9th. Jeremiah Holt in the 10th position. 11th, Brandon Pollock, 3 laps down. Lucas Lyons, he is in 12th, 10 laps down. Chris Reese, Todd Schott, they never joined the session. But that rounds out your field. Everybody's starting to get into the channels now. Get them in here and talk to them about the race and see what they thought about it. Pretty, for a 14-car field, I think that was a pretty enjoyable run. But we got to give out some awards and stuff too, so we'll go ahead and do that while we wait. Got to give out the No Next Hard Charger Award winner. I don't know who to give this to because I don't know who's the hard charger because of the way the EOLs and stuff work. But I'm going to go by the gain that I have on here, and that's going to go to Andy Kurtz. So congratulations to Andy Kurtz. He is going to be the No Neck Fast Repair Hard Charger Award winner, up 9 spots from where he started. Clement also up 9 spots. He finished 5th. But I don't know. They could both share it, I guess. As far as Hard Luck Award, Lucas Lyons with that strategy to take, take those, try to save a set of tires just didn't work out. And it was a good attempt. I like the idea of trying to take those tires like that, and you'll see if you can make something happen. And just didn't work out, and that happens sometimes. So he is going to be my Andy Kurtz Hard Luck Award winner. And we'll jump right into the Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show. Let's get Michael Kosick up here into the booth. Michael Kosick, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, interesting race. Kind of a quiet race. But you and Andy Kurtz seem to have a lot of racing there between you two and able to come away with that 3rd place finish. But I watched you pretty much the whole race. Coming off the corner, you were really yawing that thing out coming off the corner. Talk a little bit about the car. I had a question during the race. I mean, just how much different is it versus the regular Arca car? And how does it really change the way you race that thing? We saw you really yawing that thing out. Is that what you have to do, or is that just a byproduct of having that much horsepower?
Well, I mean, it's night and day difference from the Arca cards. I don't know if you have to do it, but I always tend to want to drive off the right rear anyways, which I think might hurt me long run on this car. But it's a lot more fun. So I figure if I can't catch Cofield, might as well sling it around a little bit and have a good time.
Yeah, did you feel like passing was pretty easy? It seemed like if you, some places passing can be pretty tough, but it seemed like here if you're faster, you were able to make those passes. Is that what you saw, or was it pretty difficult out there?
It was tough, I feel, at least for me. If I didn't set it up right, I kind of had to set it up off the corner and try to slide in. I couldn't just pull out and drive down underneath somebody. I would just get too loose on the low side. So that might just be the way I drive. I probably would have preferred to pass on the high side. It's just kind of get a better run off, and it's a little more stable up there. But it wasn't impossible to pass, but it wasn't super easy.
Yeah, did you feel like you had lanes to work with, or were you just kind of stuck with the one main lane down there right above that first seam, or did it feel like you could actually move around, or was it just not happening?
The bottom line was probably the best overall, but I think it was the 2nd or 3rd tire run I kind of started messing with the 3rd and 4th groove, and there was speed short run, but I think it just made the right rear a little angry, so it just slowed me down overall.
Well, third place finish. I mean, it's the first race that I've been a part of this season. Tell me about this car. Do you really like this car? Do you enjoy racing it? Is it knocked out of the park what you hoped out of this when they talked about adding the high horsepower? Do you feel like you've enjoyed racing this car now that it's been changed like this?
Absolutely, yeah. I love running this car. It's a lot more fun to drive. It's a handful, but it even when the race gets spread out a little bit, it gives you something to do. Where like the Xfinity and the truck kind of get tight overall. This one's just it's a lot more fun to sling around and just have fun.
All right. Well, man, congratulations on your third place finish. You had a hell of a run there and some fun battles with Andy Kurtz, Michael Nash, and others. So, congratulations on that third place finish. And who you got to shout out?
Thank you for doing the broadcast, Bubba for what he does for the series and all the other admins for the league, and of course my teammates at Bandits.
All right. Well, there you have it. Michael Kostick, third place finish here tonight at Michigan. Um, just a pretty solid run for the 8 machine. Let's talk to second place, Michael Nash or Alan Nash. Michael Allen Nash. Got him in chat. Michael, you got a copy?
Yeah.
I feel like I just talked to you the other day. I don't know. It feels like maybe yesterday I was able to talk to you. I don't know. But,
maybe I need to get a life after hours, huh? I'm in here all the time now.
No, it's a pretty good life. I like that. Now, we'll talk about this race. It seemed like it was a lot of fun out there. Y'all were able to sling that car around. We were watching your arms in there. You kind of go left, right off the corner.
Yeah.
You're really having having to do a lot of counters here. So it seemed like it was a lot of fun. Was that a fun combo, this car and that track?
Yeah, it's a blast. I mean, you really are. You're just out of control. And one thing we were actually talking about it in chat while we were racing. Every lap is different. You think you're getting a handle, all right, I nailed that corner, smooth off, and then the next lap is completely different as the tires wear. That's one of the cool things about this Gen 4 car. It reminds me of the old cars in NASCAR 2003. Back in the day, it was just a blast.
Yeah, I mean, does it feel like you have control? Because there's a couple like the next gen, and there's been a couple tire models like the trucks sometimes where you're trying to drive on the edge, get all that you can out of it, and then it'll just come around on you. But it seems like in this car, with the way that y'all were racing tonight, that you're really able to put it and kind of play around in that area of being right there on the edge where, if you do go over it, you can kind of save it. So it seems like you have a little bit of leeway there to really drive the car, maybe sometimes overdrive the car, but in a good way.
I think that's right, Eddie. I hadn't thought about it that way, but it really, you can catch the slides and because you can feel them coming on in the, and yeah, you can, I mean, I never did feel like I was actually going to spin out, but I was sliding. Like I was afraid I was going to tank slap the wall a bunch, but never. Yeah, like last night in the trucks, you always felt like you're going to spin around.
Yeah, so
that's a good point.
Yeah,
they've nailed the model in this car, I think.
Yeah, it kind of takes me back. You're talking about going back to NASCAR 2003. Early on in the iRacing days, there was a build of the Cup car back in the COT days where you drive down in the corner and you get on the gas and you just counter steer all the way to about 3 o'clock off the corner. And it was just a lot of fun, and you get sideways, but you could save it with the front, the front wheels. And that kind of went away for a while, but it seems like this car is sort of just a fun sort of concoction. It's like chemistry. It's just the perfect combination of elements to make a fun car. And it seemed like y'all were having fun out there tonight. Maybe even a little workout from your end. So, but
even when Cofield got that 4.5 second gap at the end, as he's want to do, it's still fun. I mean, there's still even hot lapping in this car is a blast. And anyway, Cofield's on a different level. I think in the Rebels, we're gonna have to come up with 2 championships, one for Cofield and one for everybody else.
We'll just make him run the old Arca car and y'all can run the good one.
So. He still at least keep it closer.
There you go. Well, talk to me about your race a little bit because you were able to get second place. You had to fight really hard to get that second place, and then you come down for that last pit stop. You slid through your box. I know you're kind of frustrated about that. That always is one of those tough deals, but you're still able to get in front of Cofield and You know, I know you went a couple times, and I'm critical of you on the broadcast. You kind of gave him the bottom there to work with and ran high. What was the decision there as he was trying to get you back after you had the lead to kind of run high out of the groove there early on those tires and try to hold him off? Were you trying to hold him off, or you just feel like it was inevitability and you didn't want to put yourself in a bad spot?
I was he is pretty intimidating, but I will say this. I was on cold tires, I felt pretty loose on the bottom, and I really didn't want to wreck in front of him and take us both out. So that was part of it. You could take that high groove, and it was very stable, even though it wasn't as fast on fresh tires. And then, I held him off pretty good. Is Cofield. I held him off for a couple laps.
Yeah, but you act like you wasn't as fast as him all race long. I mean, y'all were going toe to toe with lap time, especially early in the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had a couple laps tire advantage as well. So, yeah, just want to know what your thoughts were, and hey, look, I theorized that may have been what it was. He gets right on your bumper, you're already loose on the bottom, you go around and take you both out. So I can see definitely why that happened. But you fought really hard, like you said. I'm not trying to take anything away from you. I think you did a great job. The undercut worked perfectly. You were able to get right out in front of him, and that was your best shot. I mean, you weren't going. It was hard to go up and just pass anybody, and so that was a great attempt, and just came up a little bit short, finished second. But man, another good race for you tonight.
If I hadn't slid through my box, it cost me a couple of seconds. I might have been more confident to fight him because I had a couple more laps on those tires.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I could imagine what. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I can imagine you're already kind of loose on with this car, and then add those cold tires. It's a recipe for disaster. So, well, man, still congratulations on second place. I mean, you've had a good couple days of racing, and top it off with a second place. Had a chance to win. Can't really ask much more than that. So, congratulations. And who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Well, I want to thank Brandon for hosting and keeping this great league. I think Cofield and Caustic and Kurtz for all the clean racing we had up front. We had some pretty good battles in those first couple of runs, as they worked their way up. And I want to thank, of course, all the sponsors for Rebels. And thank you for the great broadcast. I always enjoy watching it. And I want to thank Jonathan Cofield because he's making me faster. When I first started league racing, I was pretty slow, and I'm still not there. But I think following these great drivers like Jonathan Cofield are making me I feel like I'm a better driver, and I thank them for that.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations, Michael Nash, on your second place finish, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you in many more races.
Hey, thanks, Eddie.
There we go. Let's talk to the man of the hour, Jonathan Cofield, your points leader and your winner. Going to extend that points lead tonight. Cofield, you got a copy?
Yeah, Eddie, I got you.
Well, man, congratulations on a win. Dominating performance, 57 laps out of 75, and nobody really had anything for you. You were able to get out front and try to drive away early. And Michael Nash tried to do a little undercut on you, but didn't seem to affect you at all. You drove right by him and able to get the win. I mean, not a whole lot happened to you in the race. Not much to talk about, but seemed like you're pretty fast. What do you think you were doing different that maybe you can pass on to the next time we roll into Michigan to folks, because it seemed like you had the field covered.
Yeah, the car was real loose, just because it's got so much horsepower. Really gotta watch your throttle input, especially center off. If you exited a little too far down, it'd try to kick around on you. But yeah, just trying to save my tires and be smooth. Me and Alan was running pretty close lap times that first run. Really couldn't pull away from him. He was doing something in 1 and 2 I couldn't do, but 3 and 4 it seemed like I could pull away from him. But really, I think I was getting on and off pit road better than anybody else. It's really where I made a lot of my time up tonight.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt about that. I mean, you had a great pit stop, and Alan had a issue where he slid through the box on that green flag pit stop. So no mistakes. You have to run almost a perfect race when you run here in Rebels. But man, 3 races that you've won so far out of 5. Continuing the Arca car dominance. And I know this is the Gen 4 car, but it's still the same, body style. It just seems like this type of car really fits fits your driving style more than maybe others. What do you think that is?
I really don't know, Eddie. Ever since I've been on iRacing, that's I always went to the Arca car. Loved driving it. The more horsepower, you got to maybe finesse it more, but you can really drive this car off the right rear. I don't know, man. I just do the I do this. I do just try to do the same thing. I drive it kind of like I did the Arca car, but it's just got more horsepower. I've been running in another league on Saturday nights with some real fast guys, and I was talking to Alan Nash in the waiting room. I think if people would get in this car, you got to be so finesse with it, and the throttle control. It can actually teach you a lot.
Well, hey, man, it sounds like you got it figured out. 3 wins on the season, another win here tonight. Man, congratulations. Who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout-outs?
I want to thank you and VSRN for doing the broadcast, sticking with us. And I want to thank Bubba Wallace for all he does in the league, and all of our sponsors, Andy and Chuck Pegleg Phelps, and all those guys, teammates at Bandits, and Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Cofield Supply and Service.
All right. Well, there you have it. Congratulations, Cofield, on your win tonight. We'll be talking to you next week.
I will, baby.
Ugh. Just disgusting. Get him out of here. Well, there you have it. Your winner here tonight at Michigan, Jonathan Cofield. Just a dominating performance and takes home the win. Well, that is it, man. We're going to get out of here. Man, just enjoy this series. Glad to be back. And I know y'all miss Alex, but we'll be taking over from here on out. I want to thank Flexible Freight Solutions. Maybe Alex can get in here and race some. That'd be nice. Thank all of our sponsors, everybody who puts in a lot of work. Brandon Wallace, Matt Clement. Thank all of y'all as always. Go check out V-Speed Racing Network. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you got friends and family that watch, tell them to subscribe. Tell them to click that button. That way they know we've gained a ton of subscribers over the last month, and I want to continue that trend just to help our exposure. We're going to be broadcasting 5 different leagues in this season, so I want to be able to cross-promote everybody, and that'd be pretty awesome. Go check out V-Speed. Check out Bradley Cooper. He does some really awesome things over there. Puts on some good shows, and then V-Speed 2 has some cool leagues as well. So go subscribe to all those channels. We'll keep adding cooler stuff, and maybe some stuff that even though you're not involved with, you might want to watch. So you never know. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna jump out of here. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you later.